Okay, first of all, this is my first BTL conference. I'd like to thank everybody for inviting me. This is not my natural environment. Usually I'm in the engine room, not up on deck. So it's a good opportunity to speak and discuss what my day-to-day role is in Prometric. Okay, so I'm the test production manager in Ireland. I manage one of 4 global teams we have. Teams in Japan, India, Ireland, and the US. And what our day-to-day role is to build exams for some of our 450 clients. And these clients range from the financial services sector to the healthcare and medicine to road safety authority tests in Ireland. So it's a wide-ranging number of clients that we support. Our day-to-day role is we will get content handed off to us from our test development team. One of our teams here at the moment is IB. IB works with our subject matter experts around the world, building content banks for our examinations. And also we also get content directly from the clients themselves. So different ways of getting content. And then what part of the test productions team's job is to do is to take that content and take our requirements document that's generated and build an exam through to the end. So building in our scoring mechanisms, our structure to our examinations, and bringing that exam through all the test quality stages, bringing it through client reviews with our clients, the whole way through to bringing it to the site in front of the candidate. So again, quality is a massive part of our jobs and our day-to-day lives. We are all consumed by ensuring that candidates all get a fair and equitable exam, and that the exam's experience for the candidate is overwhelmingly positive. Examinations can be very stressful scenarios, so we try to relieve that stress by being as professional in our capacity as we possibly can. Okay, so what I'm here to do today is to talk about a couple of migrations. And then what we've been doing for the last 2.5 years is really migrating our current examinations for our clients over onto the Surpass platform. And we've done that iteratively, depending on the solution where the solution was, where our feature set was in Surpass. Some examinations were able to brought over straight away. They were pretty much straightforward multiple choice single response questions. So in that instance, we were able to bring them across. Some had more nuanced requests. And as we've gone through the last couple of years, we've worked closely with BTL and getting those tool sets implemented, and it's been a very close partnership. The first slide I'd like to talk about is the Road Safety Authority. So the Road Safety Authority is obviously based in Ireland. It's a Road Safety Authority. It does for accreditation of driving lessons. What we do is we provide accreditation for car and bike drivers, truck and bus, and also advanced driving instructor examinations. So these would have been previously on our proprietary UTD system. So over the last year, we've been moving them on to Surpass. Again, the majority of the questions on the RSA exam are pretty straightforward. They're multiple choice single response questions. We haven't gone down the path of hazard awareness just yet, but it's something that we're investigating and we're very eager to know more about. One of the main challenges we had with the Road Safety Authority is the requirement, because it's semi-state, is a requirement for us to have assisted media. So in other words, have our examination communicated into multiple languages. So even though the text on screen and the communication languages will be Irish and English predominantly, we also need to have assisted media with the languages in both Polish, English, Irish, Russian, Lithuanian, and Arabic of last year. So again, that's one of the features we were waiting for to come along was the media option, and that allowed us to implement the voiceovers in all of our exams. Also, another feature we needed to do with assisted media is put in the Irish Sign Language. So again, it's a small features, but they were key to us getting successfully across the line for that examination. Also, one of the parts that we discussed and we needed to implement was the law functionality. Now, we don't use law functionality in the true sense of the word, but we use the law functionality that BTL provided us to manage the delivery of items within a bank, but while maintaining those enemy-item relationships. So that was key to us. A lot of the items in the bank can naturally be enemies of each other. So using the law functionality, we were able to ensure that we were able to deliver the items without introducing any items themselves. So where are we now with RSA? At the moment, all the examinations for the RSA are currently being delivered in Surpass. We've had over 100,000 exams sat last year. And what is our future relationship with RSA? Our future relationship with the RSA now is going down the road of test development. So we're encouraging and working closely with the RSA to look at their item bank, to revisit the content themselves, and to generate new content. And this is something we never had the opportunity to do in the past, or it was a lot harder. What Surpass does for us, it allows us to all work in one system. And it's a far more collaborative affair. So what we're doing is now we have regular workshops every couple of months where we're going through subject matter experts and building out our content banks to make it more updated and more in tune with the current road safety laws. So that was just one of the large successes we had this year, moving over to the Road Safety Authority. Okay, the next one is a London-based client. This is the Chartered Institute for Securities and Investment, CISI. CSI is a partner for Prometric for a long time now, and we deliver over 70 different titles for this exam. The biggest challenge for the exams themselves was the different languages that we provide on. Arabic came along in the last year, and that was a big success for us to have a true Arabic support in Surpass. Not overly complex examination, it's just the level of exams that we had to migrate. We had 70 different titles to bring across into our system. We work closely with them, both migrating current exams and then simultaneously republishing new efforts as well. So then that's a constant. Every couple of weeks we're building new exams or updating exams in their field. The future relationship. Okay, so now we're looking at trying to move CSI towards to self-publishing. At the moment, we were meeting them in their Dublin, or their London offices, excuse me, and we're getting to see how their system works. So what different systems they're using, from an item banking solutions to item writing, to everything they do from a reporting perspective as well. And what we're trying to bring them into the situation is that we can get all these different disparate systems built into Surpass. So at the moment, we're bringing them through, showing them how to item write in Surpass, how to create the item reviews in Surpass. I know we saw some task functionality that they found very, very useful when we went through it there a few weeks ago. We're also enabling them to create the forms themselves, which is an important part of the process, and also getting them more familiar with the reporting side of things. Previously, with reporting for CSI and a lot of our other clients, you would wait till the results came out from the candidates' results came back, you would process those results through and pull out the data of high-performing or low-performing items. But what Surpass allows us to do is look at each individual form and just see how the items are performing. Just showing them how that process worked, allow them to more quickly and more effectively pull items out of the bank that weren't performing well and reintroducing those that were. So pretty straightforward stuff, but it's a very positive relationship we have with CSI, and they'll be one of the first clients to be fully self-controlled and fully self-publishing in the system. Okay, also the GIAJ. Now this was mentioned earlier at the start of the conference. This was one of our largest Japanese deployments we've ever undertaken. As was mentioned earlier, with the Japanese deployments, there was a lot of onus on zero candidate impact. Obviously, zero candidate impact is what we're always trying to achieve. We're up in the 99.5% of candidates successfully completing their examinations. But with this client especially, failure of a single candidate was not an option. So there was a couple of challenges in regards the build itself. The client required some idiosyncrasies in regards how PDFs were to be displayed. I think this is where we introduced the ability for a PDF file to dock on the left-hand side of a split screen. So again, it's a simple solution, but we use that for maybe 30 to 40% of our clients now. They find that very, very useful to use. Also, some of the Japanese exams aren't that long in length, so just small changes to allow us to control the timer pop-up warning. So all small features, but have a massive impact on the client, and it puts the clients at ease that the solution matches and fits their requirements. So the examination went live. We had to bring up a Japanese team up on board with Surpass. There's certain training and learning that had to be done in regards to that instance. We brought up an instance of Surpass, but we also had to bring a lot more test centres online. So what this did was, this allowed us to release an exam. It was mentioned before that the examination for this insurance industry was delivered to a lot of candidates. And that's what we were facing with as well. We were facing with up to 6,000 candidates in the first 2 days of testing. So we had a global command centre put in place. And what the global command centre is, it's something it can be a physical command centre. We have a room in Baltimore. It's centred right in the middle of our POC, and it's got glass walls all around. And in that room is where we manage any large deployments or large testing sessions. So with sessions that we've got multiple thousands of candidates sitting in examinations, what we will do is we get all the stakeholders into one room, either physically in the room or virtually. Stakeholders from account management to call centre to help desk to lab services, and what their role is to do is to actively monitor as each candidate sits down and completes the examination. If any cause of concerns raise, whether it be a call to the call centre, call to the help desk, any technical issue, we jump on it right away and ensure that the issue is resolved before any candidates get impacted. So that was one instance where we implemented a global command centre. And throughout the day, the global command centre will email out and give updates to all the stakeholders, from everybody from the account management to people who built the exam. And it's mainly just to ensure that we do ensure that each candidate has a successful sitting at the examination. The global command centre is used for a lot of other clients as well. We use them for the European Union examinations as well. We'll actively monitor every single competition that we complete. So, a whistle-stop tour of the last year. Where are we now? So, at the moment where we are is we've migrated a large contingency of our clients across the Surpass. We're at the position now where we have a smaller subset of clients that we're identifying what requirements are needed. We're working with BTL directly to try to fill those gaps up so that we can support what they required. A few things that happened over the last couple of months that we were waiting for was the contingency scoring. That's an important part. And what the contingency scoring part is candidates not being able to progress to the second section of an exam unless they pass the first section. So it's a small requirement, but we have a subset of clients that actually use that. So we're looking forward to implementing that solution for our clients. Also, this year we're going to push forward and migrate our largest European client, which is the European Union and the Office for Personal Selection. We have a large number of examinations for that client, and we're at the position now, coming January, we're going to start migrating those exams across. So again, that's going to be an exciting time for us. We've benefited greatly with the adoption of Surpass. It allows us to work in a purely single environment without having to pull in content from different locations, from Excel files, exporting to different systems. We finally have a fully integrated system that we can work with our clients and our candidates from end to end. And that's my presentation. Okay.